Now, to create the animation and the rig itself with Apex, first we need to pack all of this into an Apex character. So let's take an Apex pack character. And this won't be a deep tutorial on Apex. We are using Apex in a very simple, very superficial way for this kind of rig. But basically, an Apex character works with three components. As you can see here, a shape, a skeleton, and a rig. This pack character and also the auto rig builder that we're going to use basically are doing a lot of the setup by themselves. We just need to tweak a few things. So for this character, we want to plug the geometry in the rest geometry input and the skeleton in the third one. Let's visualize the pack character, and we don't see anything because we need to check this add FK and bond default components. This not sure how to put it, but this is sort of required if we are going to create a skeleton here and not just packing or editing an existing one. So as you can see, just as we enable this, our character is here. And for the make controls, we are just going to use some rotation, and I don't think we are going to use any translation, but let's leave these two and don't create anything for the scale group. So now we want to take an Apex auto rig builder and plug it after the pack character. If you go into the tool, basically you have the component catalog. Here you will take the node and drop it on the points to create the various bond you need. And right away, let's check this auto update, because by default, all the change you made with the auto rig builder, then you have to update it unless you have the auto update checked over here. As you can see, we checked, and this basically the preview of the skeleton appeared, and also it translated the mesh. This is the way the auto rig builder works. And I want to change the background. Let's set it to light just for this time being. As you can see, by default, you can still select the right joint, but not the right one. Or I mean, you can select it, but they're grayed out. This is because by default, as you can see, the auto builder mirror the join based on a naming convention. We use this naming convention with the L and the R. So basically we are going to create only the left side, and the right side will be mirrored. Also, we want to change the main axis to be the Y, because as you can read, the primary axis is the input skeleton that point to the next joint and is clearly going into the Y axis. So 0, 1, 0. And for the secondary one, I believe is actually just the axis that you will rotate whenever you are dealing with the control itself. So I believe it's something that has to do with later on Unreal, but it won't affect nothing right here in the animation. So let's leave it on the Z-axis, which is also our forward one. And with this rig, I always had this warning which says the input skeleton is scaled. I tried to get rid of it, I couldn't do it, but I noticed it doesn't cause any issues in the rig, the animation, or the Unreal project, so I will ignore it. And basically now we want to create the controls. We want cog controls and also the leg one. So first, let's use this root one and drag it on the cog. As you release it, you will give the prompt for the name. Root is fine. So let's accept it. And as you can see, the control has appeared here and in the build section. The root control has been created. It says a number of elements, and I want to set it to 2. This is basically the number of rings you see here, and sometimes it's sort of bugged, I don't know why, but basically all we need is the mapping here. So if you want to test it, you can take it here from the left side where you have the mesh preview, and you can see that it's moving the whole mesh. So Ctrl Z. Now we need to create the leg. So for the leg, we want the classic FK chain. So drag it, and going from the L leg 1, release it. And for the name, let's call it L leg 1, accept it. And by default, it should be already snapped to the other joint. If we open the advanced, you can see that the parent is the cog, which is correct. The start of the joint is from the leg 1, which is correct, and the end is to leg 1 top, which is correct. And it has been created very small, but the control is there. As you can see, we can rotate the middle one and the top one. And I said that this won't cause any issue because we will have either this one or this one, not together, so this is perfectly fine. And we will tweak the shape of the control ladder altogether, but now let's create the other one. So drop another FK chain on the other leg. This will be L leg 2. And let's see, it's working, and also the mirror is working, as you can see. And I will also set 2 number of elements also for this, even if it's just one. And I want to tweak the shape of these joints. I want circle going in the forward direction. Now, if you click on the gear of the joint, you can see that it brings up all these options. I want to set the shape to be a circle, if I can see it, barely. So I will take this shape, circle wires. So I have all circle, and I want to scale it and rotate it. Now, if you notice in the tooltip, you have this tweak control shape, which is binded to the O key. So I will press O, and as you can see on the mouse, it appears adjust control shape. So I can select all of these controls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to rotate it 90 degrees, and I want to scale it. So something like this. So we have nice big controls to create the animation. And let's see, yeah, whenever you are changing the shape of your control manually, by default it applies this checkbox, otherwise you will use the default one. And I believe we actually done with the rig. Let's press O again, so we are not editing the control shape anymore. And yeah, now we need to create the animation. So to create the various animation with Apex, first we need to create a scene. So look for Apex scene add character, plug the character into the second input because we don't have incoming Apex scene. This by default, it takes the node name, so let's call it TARS. And now from here, which is the scene with the character in it, we will branch 4 times 1 for each animation. So we want to take an Apex scene animate, and this will be for the idle, so let's call it idle. And the way you create an animation with Apex, you select the tool and you go in the animate state. So click here. And as you can see, you have the control and you can animate everything. But I want to arrange my layout, so I want to split here. I always mess up with the direction. I want to split top and bottom. And here I want the animation editor, so I can see the keyframe while I create the animation. So for the idle animation, let's say it will last 70 frames. It will be fairly slow, and we want to swing from this pivot back and forth over this 70 frames. So select all 4 of the top control, and let's say frame 1, let's select all the rotation X, all 4 of them. Frame 1, it will be very light, something like -1, I would say. So -1, -1, -1, and -1. And on frame 70, it will be the same. So put another keyframe. And in the middle, so frame 35, we will be the opposite. So 1, 1, 1, and 1. So we should already have some loop. Yeah, basically we want to alternate this now. So let's select only the inner ones. And this will be the basically the opposite. At frame 35, it will be -1, and on frame 1 and 70, it will be 1. So basically the opposite. And let's check the loop. Yeah, just some minor movements to tell if the setup is working or not. So let's save it. And now for the exporting to FBX, we need to unpack the Apex character. So take an Apex unpack character. This will be fed into the only input, and the character name is TARS, coming from this name here. Then we want to take an, where is it? ROP FBX animation output. Basically, we will export only the animation of the rig with this file and then bind it to the skeletal mesh in Unreal. So for this one, we actually want to take the last input, the animated pose. Plug it here, and let's call it this idle. Let's rename this to anim idle, so we can use this name for writing the output name. And we want to export the file to the variable we created for the Unreal project, so $web project. And we will create another folder there for the animation. We will call anim. And for the name, let's say $os.fbx. So basically, we will write the file where we have the content folder of the web project in a subfolder called anim with this name. And for the option here on the compatibility, let's set this to Unreal Engine. This sort of set the preference of the FBX to the theoretically the best way Unreal can understand it. So basically this is one animation, we need to do the other three. For the walk, let's duplicate these three nodes. Let's rename this to anim walk, this one to walk, and here reset, let's reset all. So let's make some room. We already have are in the animation state, but I believe that my viewport, yeah, sort of bugged. So let's save this scene. And I don't want to lose this layout, so I will save it TARS animate. So save it. Oh, and I believe it's already fixed. Let's go back into animation state. And yes, it does. And I could work with dark background again, so it's fine. Now, for the walk is basically like a regular human walk with the outer column swinging a little bit more compared to the center one. So let's select the left one, and let's say it will go from, I don't know, -20 to 20. So frame 1, -20. Frame 50, -20, and in the middle, 20. So we do have this sort of swing. And we need to set the time range to 50 to actually see the loop. So something like this. For the right, we want the opposite. So let's start at -20. Same at frame 50 and reverse at frame 25, so -20. So we do have the walking. Now for the outer legs, so let's this is the one starting from negative, so this will go from -25, 25, and negative again. So something like this. Same for the right side, so 25, -25, and 50 25 again. And also, I remember in the previous version of Houdini, you could actually pin a node, go out, and you still have the channel here. Now this animation channel is sort of got glitchy also. Maybe it's something has to do with Apex, but I don't know. Anyway, select all the controls so we can take all the key and set it to ease, so they will be all smooth. And now we need to fix a little bit the center of gravity because we lost contact to the ground and it's a little bit weird. We want to animate this inner one, which is called C layout. So go into the side view and let's see, frame 1, we need to take it a little bit here, so this little negative value, and frame 25 should be the same value, so copy and paste, and in the middle let's raise it to something like this, and we will tweak the interpolation also, but for now let's go to 50, copy and paste this value, and in the middle here, so 37, copy paste this value. Now we just need to fix a little bit the interpolation. We can select this guy and let's set an acceleration of 0.1. Let's try 0.25. Yeah, this is fine. So we basically done with the walking. Now let's do the jog. So let's select all of this and applicate it one more time. This will be an jog, the rope will be jog, and this will last 30 frames. It will be faster. The animation will be similar to the idle, but of course way more accentuated. So let's reset everything here and save it. Also reset the viewport so I can go back into the animate state. And here, this time, for this and the run, we will rotate on the middle pivot, finally. So let's select the outer one, and let's say this will go from negative 30, so keyframe here, same at 30, and at frame 15, let's set it to the rather the positive side, because it was negative before, so we have this kind of behavior. Let's shorten the timeline so we can see the loop. And it's working. Right now, faster and faster become your animation, and more noticeable it will be the one frame skip, but don't worry about it for now. So for the inner join, we want the opposite, so frame 1, 30 degree, keyframe, same on the last frame, and in the middle it will be reversed, so 30. So we do have this wing of the arm. Let me check it from the side. I believe that we do have some issue. I mean, here is fine, here is not. This needs to be minus 30, yeah. Now it's fine. And of course we need to tweak the center of gravity like before, so let's select the control. And here, similarly to before, let's go to frame 1 and lower the center of gravity a little bit, something like this. Same keyframe here and same at 30. And in the middle, so frame 8, we want to raise it like this. Go here, frame 23, and paste this keyframe. So we do have something like this. For the, or rather first select the rotation control and make sure everything is set as is in and out. And select back the center of gravity. And here we want to tweak the interpolation of those keyframes. Let's first set it to ease. And let's put ourselves here, which is a wrong one, and let's try 0.2 like before. 1.8, so something like this. And I believe it's pretty acceptable. So we also do have the jog animation. So duplicate it one more time for the run, rename everything, anim run and run. This will be even faster, so 25 frame, and even simpler because they just need to rotate all the way around in the 25 frame. Reset the animation, reset the viewport, go back into the animate state and select the first one. Let's say this will go from 0 at frame 1. Frame 25 will be 360. I believe, yeah, is the right direction. And we want this to be linear, otherwise the loop, it will be weird. So let's place it here, 25. So now you can really see the skip. If I set it to 24, we have a perfect loop. So I just set it the last frame here because if I set it to 24, I don't see the keyframe, and sometimes I like to move it like this. So I want to see the last keyframe when I'm in Houdini. What is this guy? Oh, right, because now we are upside down. So first one is done. Now we want to select the last one. They have this weird order. They're actually like this. I don't know why, but it actually looks nicer in the overall animation. So the last one will rotate by 45 degrees at frame 1. And at 25, it will be a full rotation, so 405. And set it to linear. We do have this thing. Now let's select this, the left one should be, yeah? And the left one rotates from 135 to 495. Set it to linear. So we have 3 on 4. And the last one, where is it? I always have trouble picking them. This will rotate from 90 degree at frame 1, sorry, and at 25 it will be 450. Set it to linear. And we do have our run animation. Let's maybe... It's super fast, but it is what we're looking for. And here there's don't even need to change the center of gravity. So we are done with the animation. I will end up the second chapter here, and in the next one we will take care of the texturing part in Copernicus. So I'll see you there.